Hi everyone, I hope you're having a very good or a very safe quarantine. My name is Maria and in this video I will be talking about the reasons why I left my home in England to now live in the city of Barcelona. I apologise in advance if you can hear any noise. As part of living here in Barcelona, the walls in my flat are extremely thin and I currently live with Latin Americans. My mum is Latin American, she's from Colombia, and anyone who has Latin American parents will understand that when Latinas speak to each other, they shout. It's even worse on the phone, trust me. I love you, mum. If you have seen my other video, and obviously by the title of this video, that I moved to Barcelona just about a year ago, and here are my top 5 reasons of why I moved here. My first reason, right, a little bit of a brief history. I came here in September 2018. I participated in the European Bartender School. I'm actually certified as a bartender. The course was supposed to last a month. During this trip, I actually was introduced to an amazing dancer called Ina. She introduced me to some shufflers. So she invited me to a meetup of shuffling by the beach. And to be honest, my only practice was shuffling at home. And in the UK, people only shuffle at drum and bass raves, so I only shuffled there. I was actually so inspired to see how the shuffle movement had grown and how there's now a community in Spain. There was nothing like that in the UK as far as I was aware. It inspired me to train, and from September after finishing my cocktail course until about March in 2019, I participated in my very first shuffle competition. The organisation who organised this were called Shuffle Showcase. Do give them a follow on Instagram, they're amazing, and at the end of it they did inspire me to move here. I found a vibe and just something that drew me to that city. I promise you that straight after that trip I quit my job and I was like, that's it, I'm moving to Barcelona. Literally a week after. Well, you can probably see I have a few tattoos. One thing is for sure is it is my dream to actually become a tattoo artist. In the Barcelona, city it's inundated with tattoo individual culture. Studios. It's crazy how many studios there are here. Although I'll admit I've had my fair share of failed apprenticeships, both in the UK and now here in Spain. I've been applying to studios since I was 17 years old. I'm still trying to work out the kinks. I've learned along the way. I've actually learned so much. I've been exposed to different styles and literally different ways that people work, because everyone has their own way. For sure, I definitely want to progress further in the industry. I just need to find my way, you know? If you're someone who's applying for apprenticeships and you already have one, I'm so jealous and you're so lucky. I have been trying for years now and I still haven't got a secure apprenticeship. I'm definitely not gonna give up. Moving on to reason number 3 is the language. Moving to Spain, it's in Spain, I'm gonna have to speak Spanish. Having a Colombian mother did have its benefits. However, growing up in England, I was like, oh mum, speak to me in English, I don't understand you. My mother would only speak to me, or more shout at me, because I was a pretty naughty kid, in Spanish. So I kind of had a want to learn because I wanted to understand what she was shouting at me in Spanish. So I came to Spain. I was confident in Spanish, but I wasn't 100% fluent. Por ejemplo, ahora puedo hablar en español y para mí ahora es más fácil de antes, pero cuando llegué en el año pasado, mi español era tan terrible. Bueno, pero ahora tengo la confianza para hablar con un poco más fluidez, pero no es como 100%. If you understand any of that, my grammar is awful. Oh yes, however, when you come to Barcelona, they have their own individual language called Catalan. Yes, I have tried to learn a bit. The only words that I know would be good day, push, pull, please, mainly because of the signs on doors, you know, push, pull, yeah. and like signs on the metro. If you are an expat, and if you are looking, or if you are a foreigner and you are wanting to move to Barcelona, all you really need are the basics, because they are always looking for international people who speak multiple languages to work. They need people who mainly speak English. If you speak French, Italian, Russian, like every language is valuable and every language is needed. So I honestly urge you, if you want to get a summer job here, that's the best time for you. Okay, so now I'm on to reason number 4. This one isn't really a positive kind of influence, and I really don't want to get too political on this channel. However, it is a genuine reason why I decided to move to Spain. Brexit. I actually voted to remain in the EU. The majority of the population voted to leave. I think that was an absolute mistake. We definitely are taking for granted how much the EU is helping, especially young people. I wasn't overly pleased with the outcome. So I moved in I moved in April, the 10th of April. So during this time, the UK was due to leave in December before it got pushed back again and again and again. So I got my permit in September when we were technically still part of the EU. So yeah, so if I didn't have that permit, EU citizens can't stay in Spain for more than 90 days. If you want to stay longer than 19 days, then you need this permit, because like it's crucial. But everything is still up in the air about what will happen after we leave the EU. However, I personally will be keeping tabs and like keeping up to date on how it's gonna proceed. Like, it will actually be affecting my life, and I'll be posting all the information that I find out on this channel. So it's one reason to subscribe at least for now, and give it a like if it's useful, if any of this information is useful. I plan to stay here in Spain at least for long enough to apply for my residence permit. To get this permit, you need to stay and live in Spain for 5 years. So I'll be here for at least that long. The lifestyle. I have never been so happy, and this is just this is just personal. Back in the UK, I was constantly stressed. I had my own personal problems, and I found it so difficult to remain at ease, to feel like I had everything in control. With my job in the UK, I worked almost like 60 hours a week. Waking up at 6 in the morning to open a bar. I wouldn't leave until like 4 unless I was on a double shift, and then I'd leave at like midnight or 1 AM the next morning. It was stressful. The day I would receive my paycheck, I would then spend all of my money, or like the majority of it, within 2 days. So not only was the cost of living extremely high, I for one would not be able to live independently in my hometown because of how expensive it is there. It has been proven to me that here in Spain they value more like the quality of life. I will be honest here, the wages will be lower than what you're expected to earn in the UK, but the cost of living, like I have a supermarket literally just like 10 meters outside my building. All the food there is just cheap. I get fresh produce, I get fresh fruit, fresh veg. I cook a lot, so for me, food, like it's so cheap. Okay, one thing is a pet peeve. If you go to the UK, you will get a punnet of strawberries like this big for £4. I got a punnet literally like the size of like my jumper, and it was like €2. Also, what if I told you that I currently rent a room in a shared flat? I sleep on a double bed, and I have a wardrobe, I have Wi-Fi, I don't pay bills, I don't pay gas or water. I pay €300 a month. If that's not helping, like persuading you to think about moving somewhere else and live independently, then I don't know what will. Also, if you have been to Barcelona in the summer, let me tell you now, if you're a bartender, you get to spend your whole day lounging on the beach, and then you get to go to work at like 7 PM. I hope by explaining my reasons of why I moved here to Barcelona. Might help and persuade you, hey, like, it's alright working a 9-to-5 job, working in retail, if you're working as a bartender, if you're receptionist. Those jobs you can literally do anywhere. Part of those jobs is the freedom that, yeah, you're tied to a contract, but you can find that contract elsewhere. You can even try it for summer. In the next video, I will be explaining like the first jobs that I obtained, like the first jobs that I got here in Barcelona. And even if you just want to visit for the summer and make a little extra cash, there are so many opportunities here. And if you have any questions at all, please like ask me a question and I'll answer it to the best of my ability. Just write me a question down below. I will reply to comments. I like being interactive and helping out as much as I can. I'll be also suggesting like tips and tricks to make sure that you have all your papers in order and everything will be stress-free. I really thank you for tuning into this, to my second video on YouTube. Yeah, thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao, queridos.